News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
Good day. This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. The United States has called for a de-escalation of cross-border exchanges between Israel and Lebanese group Hezbollah as threats of a full-blown war loom. The comments on Tuesday by U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hochstein in Beirut were made as attacks continued to escalate on both sides of the border. Israel and Hezbollah began exchanging fire on October 8, a day after Hamas's deadly attack on southern Israel. Recent attacks, including Tuesday's Hezbollah drone strike on an Israeli tank, took place after an Israeli strike that killed a senior Hezbollah commander last week. Iran-backed Hezbollah, which allied with Palestinian militant group Hamas, has said that it will only stop attacks if there is a ceasefire in Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah has said that he hopes for an end to the conflict but is prepared to move forward if Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insists on war.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
Thousands of Israelis staged a mass demonstration in Jerusalem to protest Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the war in Gaza. The demonstration began outside the Knesset, Israel's parliament, before making its way to Prime Minister Netanyahu's personal residence. The protesters demanded the government negotiate with Hamas for a return of the remaining hostages who have been held by the Palestinian militant group since its deadly raid on southern Israel last October 7, as well as early parliamentary elections. Reuters says some of the protesters broke off from the larger crowd and tried to break through police barricades. Security forces managed to push the protesters back, eventually using a water cannon to disperse the crowd. The protests came hours after Netanyahu disbanded his war cabinet, a decision expected after Benny Gantz and Gadi Eisenkot, two centrist ex-generals, stepped down last week over disagreements with the prime minister over the direction of the war. Gantz joined Netanyahu's unity government in October at the start of the war and demanded the formation of the war cabinet. The White House said on Monday that the dissolution was an internal and domestic measure by Israel's government, and the United States will continue to interact with Netanyahu.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
And news from the Philippine Foreign Service Post, Philippine Consul General to Honolulu Emil Fernandez discussed several labor issues with Welfare Officer Carmelita Raquiza of the Migrant Workers Office in Los Angeles, or MWOLA, who is in Honolulu for an official visit. Ms. Arquiza, accompanied by Ms. Cheryl Grace de la Cruz, a local hire welfare case counselor, will conduct welfare checks on Filipino fishermen, information sessions on overseas workers' welfare administration or OWA benefits, and registration for OWA membership. Consul General Fernandez briefed the MWOLA team on the work of the consulate, including recent assistance to nationals or ATN cases, the situation of Filipino fishermen employed in Hawaii's longline industry, and the consular and ATN missions conducted in the aftermath of the Maui wildfires. The MWOLA officials were also encouraged to join the consulate's future outreach missions.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.